Welcome to the Art Lady's home. This morning I'm going to be making a breakfast burrito. It's going to be vegan friendly, and I'm going to start off by sauteing these two gorgeous peppers with some onion and olive oil. I'm going to probably throw in about 2 teaspoons of oil into the pan, and then I'm going to just saute it for a few minutes until it's tender. These are the spices I'm going to be using for the tofu. I have some garlic powder, turmeric, cumin, and some sea salt. And I'm going to be sauteing the tofu in that as soon as it's done pressing. But I'm going to go ahead and get started, and then I'll show you my next steps. Well, it cooked for about 5 minutes. I had the cover on so it would get nice and tender. Now what I'm going to do is push this to the side. Now this is a fairly large skillet, so if you have just a small skillet, what you can do is just go ahead and transfer this out to cook your tofu. But I like to do just one pot because I like to toss everything in my very end. And this is quite large, so I can do it this way. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put about a teaspoon of oil in the center here. Just enough to cover my pan. And my pan has like a raised surface in the center, so it kind of goes to the edge. So I'm going to move it to where I want it to be. I want it to stay in the center area here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my spices in. I have my turmeric and my cumin, and I'm just going to saute that a little bit in here. The olive oil. And I'm going to throw in my garlic. Right there. I'll give a little bit more olive oil here. Another teaspoon of it so that it's not so dry. I'm losing some of my oil on this pan. It has a raised surface in the middle, which is not really ideal. And all the grease goes in. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and throw my block in. And I'm just going to chop up this into the seasonings. And this was pressed, this tofu, while I was cutting up and cooking the peppers and onions. You can see how it's kind of taking on a nice color in the spices. And I like my tofu pretty crispy. I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit. I'm on a medium right now, just to crisp up that tofu. And I'm just going to toss it. I want the spices to be evenly coated here. And I don't like my tofu really big for the chunks. I like it like a scrambled egg size. And so you can see I'm just kind of popping it with my spatula here. And I'm going to add a little bit more olive oil here to crisp it up. Right in the middle. I don't like dumping a lot at once because, like I said, it goes into the edge of my pan. I do want it to coat some of this so that it can fry with a nice crisp to it. Don't worry if some of the peppers and onions get mixed in. It's all going to get mixed in the end anyways. And then you get some of that pepper onion that have that gorgeous grilled blackening look on the bottom, which I love. Kind of like fajitas when you get them out in the restaurant. You know, the ones on the bottom are going to get really cooked. Nice and crispy, nice and browned. All right, I'm going to let that set. You can see how it's evenly tossed. I'm going to let that set, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to crisp up the bottom, and then I'll just flip each one individually. I'll show you how I'm going to do it. Turn it over so that the top gets crisped as well. I'm leaving the cover off so that the tofu doesn't get real moist. Once my tofu started getting a little crispy, I sprinkled it with a teaspoon of some Himalayan sea salt. And you can add a little bit more salt to taste if you'd like, but I don't want to go too crazy with that salt. That's good for me. Now what I'm going to do is slide this over. And if you've seen some of my other videos, you know that I am pretty much a lazy cook. That's why I'm doing this one pan thing. This pan, by the way, is 14.5 inches, so I have plenty of room to do stuff with this. It's a good size fry pan if you can find one. I use mine. This one I use all the time. So I'm sliding this over right now to make a little well area here just to cook my tortilla in here. And you can put a little bit of butter down first if you want. I'm just going to use it right from the pan just to heat it and get it a little crispy. What I did do is when I moved my peppers over to the edge, I reduced the area of the cooking grill to, I had a 12-inch, I had it set on a 12-inch setting, and so I reduced it down to only a 9-inch setting, so the heat's only coming to the center of the pan. That helps just keep this in place here. And I'm going to heat this for a minute and flip it over just to get a little bit of the grill spots like that. And then we'll stuff them up and we'll fill them. We'll put some salsa inside, and we will use some of the avocado I cut up in the middle. But I wanted to show you how I did it with one pan. Now, if you have a small pan, another option that you can do is pull this out, put it on another plate, a serving plate, or put it in a bowl, and then cook your tortillas this, that way, and wipe out the dish if you'd like. But I'm not really that picky. That's why it's simple and quick and easy. But I'm going to show you what it looks like once it's all done and completed. And of course, you can make your own fillings on the inside. Here is the finished breakfast burrito or quesadilla, if you want to make it the quesadilla way. If you're going to do a burrito, you can just wrap it. I just fried them up like a quesadilla here. And inside you can put, I'll move it over a little bit so you can take a peek at what it looks like inside. You can put your avocado inside. You can sprinkle it with some vegan cheese if you'd like. I like flipping it over and just putting mine on top, and I eat it with a fork and knife. But I hope you enjoyed this simple, easy vegan breakfast.